This is absolutely amazing. I'm never going to get tired of these clickbaity articles because they always give me content to produce. This is a paper that was sent to me today asking what I thought. Horns are growing on young people's skulls. Phone use is to blame, research suggests. It's ironic because this is from the Washington Post, and at the top of the Washington Post website it says democracy dies in darkness. And yes, this is the stuff that's going to cause democracy to continue to die in darkness by publishing just complete nonsense like this. There's 409 comments. I read through some of them. Thankfully, most of them are trolling the author, which is great. But I'm pretty sure that there's tons of people who probably read this and are like, oh no, what's going on? The whole premise of this paper, of this article, is taken from this particular paper right here with this long title. And it's talking about essentially the external occipital protuberance, and they're talking about how it's a little bit larger now with some people based on some x-rays that they took a while back. And it's interesting because I went to the original study, and this was published February 20th, 2018. The abstract, which is the beginning of an article, the introduction, it talks about how they're seeing these differences and it's interesting, and then they make these logical jumps, if you will. They jump from, okay, people have this, well, that must be a degenerative change, and that degenerative change must be because of poor posture, and now poor posture is going to cause neck pain and all this type of stuff, right? So, but their main question was, is the bump larger or is it not, right? So what they did is they took a couple hundred subjects, and all they were looking at was, okay, we're going to take this x-ray and we're going to see if the bump is larger on the back of your head. They weren't measuring pain necessarily, and the funny thing is, I'm going to go through a few notes here that I took on the article, is that they found that the people with the larger bump actually had no pain, completely asymptomatic, right? So I'm going to read a couple things that they hypothesized. So they stated that we hypothesize that this bump may be linked to sustained aberrant loading of the enthesis, which is basically just where the bone and the tendon or ligaments interface. And they said that it may be related to aberrant postures due to, wait for it, extensive use of handheld devices. Handheld devices, phones. They're saying that this extra bump is now being caused by people looking down like this more. So people who like make pottery for a living, or I don't know, people who work at a desk or before computers, or like to read, or I don't know, just like sitting in a chair. This is crazy to me that they're making this huge logical leap. And then they talk about how it raises a concern for the future musculoskeletal health of the young adult population, and that they need to reinforce the need for prevention, intervention through posture improvement education. Wow, that is insane to me. They then go on to say that while these enthesiophytes are often asymptomatic, meaning they don't cause any pain, and are not necessarily an indicator for disease in otherwise healthy individuals, symptoms at the site of muscular insertion at the EOP have been documented. Wow. Okay. That's great. I mean, yeah, maybe some people have symptoms, but most people are asymptomatic. And I just wanted to pull up another paper that kind of goes into that. Hold that up there. This is published in Spine. Abnormal findings on magnetic resonance images of the cervical spines in 1,211 asymptomatic subjects. Essentially, this looked at people who had no pain, looked at their cervical spines, a broad range of age groups, and saw that there's lots of different changes that happen as we get older. That's just a part of normal aging. You're going to have disc bulges and different bone growth and all that type of stuff. And it doesn't just happen in the neck, it happens in other parts of our bodies too. And so I just find that this information is so misleading, and the logical leaps that they take are so insane that I can't believe it actually got published, and there's no one to actually edit this. I mean, come on. The next thing that I looked at here was in their results, they said our current analysis demonstrated that the prevalence of this bump is 33% of the total population. Okay, that's great. I mean, so how does that help us, and how is that really going to tell us that we need to improve why is that telling us we need to improve our posture? This thing is not even linked to any sort of pain, and we see now that there are just so many different changes that happen in our body. It can be meniscal tears, it can be different changes in our neck, it can be changes in our knee, like I said, with meniscal tear or osteoarthritis, in our back, in our shoulder. Like, there are so many different changes that take place that aren't linked directly to pain, and yet they're still doing this. This is 2019, and people are still preaching this stuff. It's incorrect. There's no data to support it, and it's just frustrating that I have to say this over and over and over again to people who should know better. So please, whoever's editing this stuff, do better. They go further into this stuff, saying that based on our findings here, we should have postural correction, and that this stuff is due to just aberrant loads. I don't know what an aberrant load is. We have loads. I don't know why it's aberrant. Our muscles are plenty strong to support us. Our ligaments are plenty strong to support us. Looking down and texting, like, I really don't understand this. What else do we got here? Oh, okay. So there's another one here I just wanted to highlight. Like I was talking about before, I have posted this before. So this paper is just talking about, it actually followed numerous patients over the course of 5 years, people who received a rotator cuff repair and people who did not. And the outcomes actually were very similar at the end of 5 years. So our bodies are very capable of healing, and even if we have pain in the shoulder, or like even from potentially a rotator cuff tear, that doesn't mean that we can't adjust and adapt to it and have full range of motion and good strength and get back to the things that we enjoy doing. Also, this. Boom. I know I'm just showing you the titles. I can go further into these if you guys want me to. But this one is talking about different spinal changes that happen in the lower back. And those similar things happen in the cervical spine. Disc bulges, degeneration, which is really just normal aging, and other things. These are just normal parts of aging, and we have really pathologized normal. And we really need to stop doing that. So please, let's stop solving problems we don't have. Let's focus on solving the problems we do have, that are inactivity, mental health issues, and chronic diseases that are largely preventable. If we do that and stop focusing on pointless things, pointless, literally, it doesn't matter, then we might be able to make a dent in the health of the country. Thank you so much for listening. If you have any other things you would like me to rant about, I am happy to rant about them, because this stuff just never gets old and it is fun for me. So if you want more information, please go ahead and go to my website. That'll be in the link. There's plenty of different blog posts. And again, if you want extra content on stuff like this, things that you're like, wow, is this actually real, or is this just fake? I'm happy to debunk those things. You can go ahead and just leave a comment and send different papers there or different articles. I'm happy to review them. Thank you, and have a great day, and don't buy into the nonsense. Oh, one more thing. I wanted to make a point here. Oh, here we go. This paper is there it is. So if you wanna see more papers like that, and I can go through it. Take care. Have a great day.